Alright, be honest. Do you sometimes work on yourself with the subtle goal in mind? Okay, when I reach this level, when I have X, then I can settle, then I have complete, and then I'm done. Do you do what you want to do because you want to make it at some point and then be able to stop doing what you do, to come out of pain maybe, and to reach like a better level where there's no pain anymore and where you made it? Maybe it's like in the gym, you say, okay, once I have my beach body, once I'm like super jacked, once I have my six pack or whatever it might be, then I can relax, then I can have like the normal lifestyle again. Then I don't need to watch my diet anymore. I don't need to go to the gym like super hard 5 or more days a week. Then I want to tell you, okay, fuck being complete, because for mainly 2 reasons. First of all, of course, we know there's always the next level, there's always more that you can reach. And as soon as we think, okay, I am great at X, this is basically like a form of pride where we come from. This is limiting our growth because we do not even see what is possible if we're telling ourselves, okay, I'm already good, I'm already great. So for example, right, my business right now is sales. I'm into sales, and there's like very common that if you talk to salespeople, that they have like you have huge pride, right? All the time, or often when you ask a salesperson, okay, are you good? Are you great? Like, what's your level of competency, right? They will say, okay, I'm awesome. I'm the best closer ever. And this is literally what is like blocking them, or what is hindering them from achieving next levels of their competency, or also like producing more or closing more or becoming better as a person, or become not as a person but as a salesperson, because they can increase their skills. But they actually cannot increase their skills because they're already telling themselves they're at 100%, so there's no room for improvement, right? Same, I made a video about this, that sometimes people think, or I sometimes think, okay, I might be tough, but then there are people like Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson, if Mike Tyson is tough, then I'm not tough at all. And I think this is like the biggest problem with just wanting to reach a certain level and then settle, is that we limit ourselves to reach like even higher and higher levels, and don't even see what our life could have been, or what like greatness we could have achieved with our body, with our communication skills, with our life in general. So the second reason why I say, okay, fuck being complete, because it's, in my opinion, not about quote-unquote being complete, but it's about the journey or the process and the person you become in the process of improving, of becoming better, of achieving goals. This is like the true beauty, right? When we have achieved a certain level, it's like the total transformation that we went through. And then when we say, okay, we're done, right? Where's like more improvement? Where's the more transformation? But if we then say, okay, there's the next level, the next level, the next level, there's more journey, more process that we have to go through, and also more transformation that we also go through, and more change in our life, changing towards a better personality, a better version of ourselves. For example, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a great example, right? At first he reached everything he could have achieved, I think most of the things he could have achieved in bodybuilding, right? What did he do? Did he quit after that and say, okay, I achieved everything, I will retire now? No, he went into movies and said, okay, the next goal that I have, making money, I think, right? Into going into movies, and then he became a millionaire, or became like financially very stable. The next thing he did, okay, I have enough money now, I have achieved everything I wanted in bodybuilding, so what will I do? He went into politics, and then he achieved everything in politics that he could have achieved, right? And this is because he clearly didn't come from this frame of mind that he said, okay, I want to achieve X level and then I want to settle because I've achieved enough. No, he said, okay, I want to have achieved this, and then he saw the next thing that he could do, and the next thing and the next thing, and there's always the next thing, and this is the frame of mind that he came from. And another thing that you might want to consider when you're coming from this frame of mind, I want to achieve this level to settle, then, is the pull towards entropy. So the pull towards entropy basically says that everything that isn't growing is dying. So whenever we don't constantly put effort into something to keep it growing, it is dying. So it's not increasing anymore, but it's decreasing at some point. This is what it says. Nothing stays at the same level, but it's slowly decreasing, and we constantly have to give energy, so it's increasing. And the last thing that I want to share here is like what I think a very interesting concept, and it says that like we in our brains or in our mind have like 2 types of personalities, or 2 types of selves, right? So the first is like a seeking, or it's called the seeking comfort self, and the other is a seeking growth self. As humans, we have both types of selves in us, but just one is usually more prevalent. So whatever of those 2 selves would be on the forefront, it's also true that our total worldview and our reality changes. Why is that? Because of it's called the RAS, the reticular activation system, which is basically like, there are many information, right, that we're seeing and that we're receiving right now, but we cannot focus possibly on all of those information because it would just be too much. We would be overstimulated. So we have to filter out like irrelevant information, and we have to focus on the relevant information. And this is exactly what the RAS does, right? Based on the certain self that we are in, we are focusing on different things, and the RAS is zooming in onto different things, and we have like different perspectives because of that, and because of that we have like a different worldview or a different reality, right? We see the world differently. Let's say we are a person that is seeing everything as like negative, or seeing like the danger in everything, seeing the downside, and seeing everything as, okay, I could potentially lose something. This would be, of course, the seeking comfort self, right? We seek comfort, we seek places where we cannot do something. Versus, on the other hand, we see the benefits, we see the upsides, we see the things that we can gain from that if we do this, which would be the seeking growth things. We're striving for more, we're striving for more growth. Another example would be the traveling the world, right? Because we're traveling right now, I can see it from the viewpoint, okay, I'm getting sick, I can maybe get robbed, or I don't speak the language well, so maybe what if people scare me, I could lose money, maybe the work potential is not as great. And this would be like the seeking comfort self. Or I can see it from the perspective, okay, traveling the world, I would think of all the beautiful places that we go through, all like the waterfalls that we see, the different cultures that I can learn, the different foods that I can try, all the stories that I will be able at some point to tell to my children and grandchildren. This would be, of course, then the seeking growth personality, seeking more, striving for more, and striving also for adventure. From my experience, we have both of those sides inside of us, but whatever we are like spending more focus on, or whatever like we are, which self we are in most of the time, it's getting stronger and reinforced, and the other part is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and at some point isn't there anymore. Which doesn't mean that it's not there anymore, but it's like almost so weak that it never comes to the surface. So this is, for example, if you might know a very super lazy person who doesn't really like to do stuff, who's like likes to relax, not go to the gym, and no ambitions in whatever, like the business or in his career, but then he finds something where he finds like genuine joy in, right? He like enjoys stuff, and then he's like seeing his first results. There's the first little milestone he reached just because it was fun, and then he has his first positive feedback from life, and then he's getting motivated, right? He starts to do more, and this is the moment where his growth-seeking personality, or his growth-seeking self, is coming to the forefront and is nurturing this whole process and like also his goals. Or another great example would be David Goggins, right? If you know his story, he basically came from a overweight loser who's like spraying cockroaches as a job to completely changing his life around, now being a motivational speaker or something, who was a Navy SEAL, who did like Navy SEAL training several times. I don't know the exact numbers. Right now is probably one of the most, or maybe the most disciplined person on the planet. I think here you can see it well. At first he was living through his comfort-seeking self to switching around and to really focusing and zoning into his growth-seeking self and say, okay, I can run this ultra marathon, right? All right, and I think the important thing here is to have this awareness and be aware, okay, am I in the comfort-seeking self right now, or am I living through the growth-seeking self right now? And then have the awareness, okay, if I am in the comfort-seeking self right now, this will probably reinforce itself. I will seek more and more comfort in the future, and will neglect my desire to seek growth and to seek for more. This might be a reason to say, okay, I have to switch into this growth-seeking self and to discipline ourselves a bit more, because then we are in this growth-seeking self, which reinforces itself, and at some point we build momentum, and we are in an upward spiral, and everything will get easier and easier. And then if you want to go full circle to the basic or the general topic of this video and say, okay, if I reach level X, then I'm done, ask yourself, if this is the frame of mind that you're coming from, is this coming from a comfort-seeking place, or is this coming from a growth-seeking place? I think you know the answer. Alright, I appreciate that you watched until the end, and I really hope you got some value out of this. By the way, my name is Dennis, and some years ago I committed myself to achieve all of my goals and dreams, and this is what I'm doing right now. I'm on the journey, I'm in the process of doing this right now. My financial goals, my fitness goals, my travel goals, I'm traveling right now, and everything will be documented here on YouTube, the ups, the downs, the learnings, and everything in between. So if this is interesting, you can consider subscribe down here, and then we see each other in the next video. Thanks for watching. Buenas tardes.